Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this special program that does not permit us to put a smile on our faces today. It's with a very sad note that we are seated here to discuss something that has befallen our community. And of course, we shall be talking or discussing the death of Mr. Emmanuel Ajim, who was one of the vibrant members we had in our community here in Qatar. I'm talking about the Cameroonian Diaspora community. And of course, the Secretary General of this community, Mr. Buba Betran, is right here with me in the studio for us to highlight a few points about Mr. Emmanuel Ajim, who he was to this community, what legacy he has left behind, and how he's been mourned in the community. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, my name is Sawana Edmond Elime, alias Edibobo, welcoming you to this special edition. And hello, Mr. Buba Betran, the Secretary General of the Cameroon Diaspora Community. Welcome to this program.
Thank you so much, Eddie Bobo. Thank you for having me on your studio today.
Of course, it's always a pleasure to have you to discuss things that concern this community. Yeah. So we are very happy to have you once again. And it's unfortunate that we shall not be discussing today and smiling and vibrating and showing off what our community has achieved thus far. It is a sad moment for the community. Mr. Emmanuel Ajim has left us.
Exactly.
Who was Mr. Emmanuel Ajim?
Well, before I answer that, I would want to appreciate you for always having us on your studio. If you notice, we have had a number of persons that have joined the community platform, and we have had reports that most of them got to know about the existence of Cameroonians in Qatar through your personal platform, to be specific, your TikTok.
It's my pleasure.
Now, Mr. Late Bobe Emmanuel Ajim, I was born somewhere around 1958 to a family of six. He hails from Com, and he had lost his parents some time ago. The last person he buried was the mother in 2016. He was married and had three children out of his marriage, but unfortunately lost the wife in 2016. So we now have three orphans that are residing in Douala. Boba Emmanuel was one of those persons that came here in 2013 and has been with us through that time up till 28th of March this year that we got the unfortunate news. That's his personal background.
Thank you very much for having introduced to us who Bobby Emmanuel Ajim was. And well, before we continue, we say, may his soul rest in peace. Let's have a few seconds of silence for his soul to rest in peace. And may the soul of Emmanuel Ajim and all the souls that have departed rest in peace. So we will continue with the program. SG Buba, who or what would you say is the legacy that has been left behind by Mr. Emmanuel Ajim in the community as far as the Cameroonian diaspora community is concerned?
That's a good question, and I would say that if I want to start listing the things that Bobe Emmanuel actually did for the community, there will be no time. But one thing you must understand is that when we this idea of coming together, this initiative of building the community was nursed, it was one of the key persons that played a key role. He contributed financially, contributed morally, supported the ESCO in many different ways.
Right.
There were no occasions that Bobe Emmanuel will not show himself. He will not only come, he will advise the ESCO, he will contribute financially, and he will be there physically. It's unfortunate that we lost him. Not only that, within our community, we have the department we call diplomacy.
Right.
So he was head, and we chose him based on the experience he had had before even coming here.
As far as diplomacy is
As far as
concerned.
diplomacy is concerned,
Right.
and based on the connections which he had, the problems we have in this community, we needed someone that really is versed with taking our plight to the consent authorities or
Persons, okay.
consent office.
Mhm.
So he was head of that department. And the last time, this is the new ESCO, he was part of the old government.
Correct.
So before he left office, we gave him a letter. There were two letters he took to Cameroon. The one was going to the presidency,
Correct.
and one was going to the Ministry of External Relations. So he was our messenger that took this letter to Cameroon. So this is one of the major roles that he
He
played.
played.
Yeah.
Wow. The SQ said if we have to start listing all the things that Mr. Emmanuel Ajim did for the community, we might not, time might not be enough for us to do that. So, Mr. HG, before the creation of this community, which was called Cameroon Community or the Cameroonian Community in Qatar, and then now what we have, the Cameroonian Diaspora Community in Qatar, we witnessed the demise of one of us, by name Mr. Akenji,
Robert
Mr.
Akenji.
Akenji Robert, who died here in Qatar with us. And what we went through as we struggled to make sure that his corpse was taken to Cameroon, unfortunately, we were unable to do that because we did not have, for example, an office that could support us. When we talk about an office, we are looking at something like the consular office or an embassy. And that was not in place. And until today, we don't have that here. I don't know. I don't know what I should say. Fortunately, Mr. Emmanuel Ajim has or did not die in Qatar. I learned he died in Uganda.
That's right.
If it happened that he died here, we would have faced the same situation that we faced with Mr. Akinji, who was eventually buried here, which was, of course, not our intention, and of course, not intention of the family. Now, you might want to take this opportunity to again highlight the need of a consulate or an embassy, a Cameroonian consulate or an embassy seated in this country of Qatar, to be able to mitigate the situations or the problems, the challenges of Cameroonians.
That's right. But before getting to that, I would just want to point out that late Robert Akenji, the report which we got from Hamad stated two things. It stated a primary course and the secondary course.
That's a Hamad Medical Corporation.
Yes, okay. HMC. For the primary course, my memory is not faithful at the moment. But for the secondary course, we had it stated that he died of COVID. That was a secondary course. I don't want to say that the cops didn't go to Cameroon because of lack of embassy here. I think it was COVID time. So transporting a corpse that was suspected or that had a secondary cause of COVID.
Yes.
Yeah,
it was not possible at that time. Yes, there were restrictions that were put in place. Right.
So even if the embassy was here and he died maybe from some other disease, we might have had the procedure slowed down.
Okay.
Not like it will not be possible because we still have documents coming from Saudi. But the problem is time. Time is a factor here. So it is, I don't know, we have sent countless letters to concerned authorities. When the ambassador came here in 2022, we highlighted a number of challenges, which he is already aware. It's no news. Just this morning, someone called me and told me that they have given him up to a week to provide a passport, and that if he doesn't provide, the company will be forced to cancel his ID. So he goes back home. He called and he was weeping, and it's not like he has not he has applied for a travel pass to go and renew his passport. In fact, he has waited for the embassy to come, but up to now they haven't come, and he has waited for a very long time. The company is now fed up and has given a very short notice. Now we have applied for the travel pass, but not too sure of exactly when it's going to come. From my experience, it will take 2 to 3 weeks for that travel pass to come. And if they have given someone just a week, we can begin to imagine what's going to happen next. Our challenges are numerous. Our challenges are so numerous. And the number of mails I get every day at the secretariat is unbearable. There's never a time you open a mail and you don't weep.
So people expressing their
frustration, their plight, just because of passport, just because of attestation or certification of documents.
So what do you think would have been a situation if Mr. Emmanuel Ajim died in Qatar? Would it have been easy for us to put things together to have his corpse transported to Cameroon?
It would not have been easy, but it would be possible. It's possible. It would have been possible but not easy. It will take so much time. Like I said, if you apply for a document, it will
Mm.
take weeks. But might be I would say that because it has to, this will be an emergency
Right.
or a case of death, it would have been precipitated. I think so.
Oh, thank you very much, SG Buba. Let us proceed. I'll be asking you a very technical question that concerns solidarity towards our departed brother, and of course, that should be to the family. Is there anything the family or the executive bureau is doing to make sure that resources are put together, maybe financial resources, to support the family he has left behind? And I learned that to transport his crops from Uganda to Cameroon, maybe you will want to let us know how much that is going to be. It's a huge amount of money. What is the executive bureau doing at the moment to make sure that things, a few financial resources are put together to support?
Well, I'm sure you are part of the group. As you would have seen, we are using different means. We are expressing, we are mourning in different ways. He also belong to different subgroups, and we see that they are doing marvelously in terms of mourning.
Okay.
As far as the resources, putting the resources in place are concerned,
Mm.
it's going to cost the family 7,000
US dollars.
US, 7,002 US
That
dollars.
should be equivalent of about 25 million,
26
26, or thereabout.
26,000 Qatari riyals. So that's what it's
Oh,
going to cost.
sorry,
Yes,
Rams.
that's what it's going to cost the family. And we at the ESCO, we have our own, we have given a target to ourselves because, like I said, it was part of the former government. We cannot just ignore this kind of
Mhm.
unfortunate situation.
Mm.
We have to prove to the family, we have to prove to those children that their father was with us
Was
and
part of a
helped
family.
us. He is also
Yes,
part of the family and helped to build the family that we all are enjoying today.
correct.
And now we are also making an appeal to all Cameroonians that this is an unfortunate situation that has befallen us, but particularly the family of late Bobe Ajim. We are saying that if metaphorically we are on our knees, we are not asking us to contribute $7,200. No, what we are saying is if you have 5 reals, 10 reals, whatever you just have as a sign of support to the orphans that Mr. Ajim or late Bobby Ajim Emmanuel has left behind, please, you can just forward it to the treasury and make sure that your name is taken down. This is just an appeal. We are appealing to your consciences. Help us to do that. When Robert Akenji died here in 2020, this was the same initiative which we did, and we were so happy that Cameroonians came out in their number to support. They were not only at the burial ground, Eddie. They came at they were not just there. They came, they supported, financially contributed, and this money was dispatched or transmitted to the family back in Kumba, and we got confirmation that they received through a video call
Mm.
which was shared in a group. So be rest assured, Cameroonians, our brothers and sisters, that whatever dime we are going to put in for this cause is going to directly to the family. There's no cause for any alarm. Thank you.
That cannot be overemphasized. If that did not sink into you because of one or two reasons concerning your relationship with Mr. Jim, think about the children he has left behind,
Exactly.
and of course, react
Exactly.
positively. My dear brothers and sisters, SG Boba, I'll be asking you the last question before we wrap up this program. Um, uh, we are not too certain of what must have taken the life of our brother, Mr. Emmanuel Ajim. But following his medical record, it's reported that he was hypertensive, that he was suffering from high blood pressure, which probably might be associated with his death. What will you have to say? I mean, to you are not a medical expert, but you could give a general advice to the people out there, especially the Cameroonian brothers and sisters who are living in this country regarding health, lifestyle, before we
Mm.
wrap up.
Yeah, thank you for that question. What I would like to say, well, we got information that he was hypertensive and he was actually managing it. Personally, I've seen him so many times in the evenings when I'm returning from work doing sports. I think that was one way he was managing it.
Sure.
But let us not wait to have BP and then we start looking for a means to
To
manage it.
manage it.
So what the ESCO is doing is we are trying to roll a medical campaign, which I think you're coming from a medical background. People like Gisela, people like our
Mr.
senior man, Mr.
Roger,
Ocha
other
Roger,
brother.
are going to put some videos together, get some information that not only related to high blood
Blood
pressure,
pressure.
we have other things like liver disease, cancer, kidney, diabetes. These are things that we need to be talking about. And also, if you check on our platform, we are also encouraging people who belong to other subgroups because we, as Cameroonian diaspora community, we meet just once in a year. We may not have that time to continually educate you Cameroonians, but these subgroups should also have should have a slot on their agenda where they can spend 10-15 minutes to talk
To
about to
sensitize
sensitize
their
people to
members.
create awareness against some certain disease. They can choose any and then talk to their members. This is advice we have given, and like I said, we are trying to roll out a medical a campaign against some of these diseases.
Thank you very much, SG Buba. It's always a pleasure having you. You've done so much for the community, and the people are appreciating you. And you are not alone. You are working with a whole team of the executive, and of course, with the General Assembly. We can only wish you more courage. You're doing a job which you are not paid for, and it requires sacrifice. I mean, and the grace of God to be able to do that. Do you want to say last words before
Okay,
we go?
it's always my pleasure to have loved to people management. It's always an administration, I would say. It's always a pleasure to serve people. It's always a pleasure to serve Cameroonians. It's when people come and I serve them, their needs are met. When documents come from Saudi after we have applied, it makes me happy. I feel like I'm doing a job. But Cameroonians, it doesn't end there. Let us come together. Tell other Cameroonians that are not part of the group that we need to come together. When the ambassador came here, AG, one thing he said is, I don't want to be dealing with this group, with this group, with this group. Have one group like we have CDCQ. If there is any other subgroup, it is within the CDCQ. So if they need anything, the main group should come to me. I will not be dealing with group. So I think that I'm not saying that we are not united. We are united, but we need more people to come. We understand that there are more than 1,000 Cameroonians in Qatar, but we have just maybe we have 417 on the WhatsApp platform. We need people to join us, and we also have our Facebook page, which we want you guys to always visit because we'll be posting very interesting information, very educating information on it. Thank you for having me as your SG. Thank you for having us as a ESCO, and thank you for trusting us. We still need your support, without which we cannot succeed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, SG Buba. Take a home word. Health is wealth. If you do not prioritize to keep your health intact, you will lose everything. Because if you lose quality health, you will probably not be able to do anything, my dear brothers and sisters. Do not live a life that will earn you on a sick bed, bedridden, and people will be doing everything for you. You will not be the only one to suffer, but people, your family members, and your loved ones, your friends will suffer as well. Please monitor your health. I always tell people that your blood pressure and your blood sugar monitors should be your mobile phone. Have them at home and monitor these vital signs most frequently. And that's how we had it here today. Remember, my name is Emmanuel Lime. It's a pleasure to bring you something like this. And you get some special greetings from the president of the community, Mr. Xavier Yana. Good evening to all of you. Until some other time. Bye-bye.
Full house. I will get an elder from Com, and he named Nabobe Emmanuel. Who hear from me? Ajim. Bobe Ajim Emmanuel.
I don't get plenty things to talk. If the one I don't notice her as I come inside this house, I sit down for this angle and not the talk. because I know tradition, I know Saiwa come out. When I fit pledge as much for my tradition as a prince of Tom, I know the pledge inside country house, within inside country house. Because when you want carry Mimbo for enter out for palace, you know the can't tell palace here. I get Mimbo for bringer.
Correct.
Muno yeah?
Yeah.
Muno yeah?
Yeah. Because na country house, you see at the drink, something where they water. No be na tonic, na water. Because water, na wait the way for my palace, they take a entertain people before when I go for na pump and I start drinking white stuff. But we don't talk about white stuff here. When I give them back for you, it's not the correct way that for do it. Because if you do it wrongly, because you know be supposed to talk. See, you ask white stuff inside house, it gets for polar. Bring it up. Come put on for.